Caitlin Clark's teammate comes clean on Fever intentions 42 seconds after WNBA Legends reality check. It takes a lot out of you when you lose players, mentally and emotionally, especially with the way that it happened. Head coach Stephanie White's candid admission was a glimpse into a locker room fighting for survival. While Indiana Fever executives Kelly Krauskopf and Amber Cox managed the injuries and chaos with calculated composure, the roster too did not disappoint. They roared with a dominant 95-75 win over the Seattle Storm on August 26. Though the move elevated the team standing to 6th position and successfully nestled them in the playoff bubble, can they survive without Caitlin Clark for long? The spotlight on Fever's backcourt crisis grew brighter during the latest Post Moves podcast, where WNBA legend Candace Parker posed a pointed question to Aaliyah Boston. It just seems like, especially at the guard position, and we all know how important it is to have a point guard run your offense and be confident and steady, Parker began. And going into the playoffs, you understand how important it is to have that quarterback at the start of your offense, that coach on the floor. What are those conversations like? The former 3x WNBA champion's words echoed White's earlier sentiment, underscoring the Fever's glaring lack of a floor general. While the truth lingers like a bitter taste for teammates, Boston's response brought the discussion back to the team's current mindset. At the end of the day, every time we step on that court, we just have to hoop, Boston asserted 42 seconds later. Like, it doesn't matter if it's pretty. It doesn't matter. It's not going to be perfect, but we just have to go out there, play for each other, and just simply hoop. Do what you do. Get a bucket, get a stop, and just push the pace. She cleared the team's current intentions with a blunt, unfiltered, and a direct take. This reflected a resilient team that refuses to fold in adversity. Parker's observation highlighted the franchise's brutal reality. Without a point guard, their offenses go haywire at crucial moments. Despite boasting an average of 18.4 points and a heroic 21-point performance against the Storm, Kelsey Mitchell is forced to rally the team alone. And the locker room needs Caitlin Clark. They're in dire need of a dynamic guard whose 16.5 points, 8.8 assists, and 5 rebounds per game are a blueprint for sustained success. With Clark steering the ship earlier this season, Indiana boasted a plus 7.5 net rating with her on the floor compared to minus 5.1 without her. This is a stark reminder of how pivotal she is to the Fever's identity. And nothing can mask the void of a true point guard. Needless to say, Clark's prolonged absence, as she missed her 16th consecutive games due to groin and bone bruise injuries, has left Indiana scrambling. But regardless, the Fever is trying their best to fill in the backcourt gaps. Obviously, we brought in Odyssey, Sims, and She Petty, and then we just signed Aerial Powers, Boston explained. And so for us, we just try to figure out different ways because I think sometimes, they do a great job just getting us into our offense. But I think we just continue to try and find different ways to manipulate it a little bit on the offensive end, make defense have to guard it a little bit different, and just try to give ourselves some easier looks. While Sims proved to be a worthy addition, as she delivered 22 points and 6 assists in Seattle, Boston emerged as a dominant force with 27 points and 9 rebounds. Despite glimmers of resilience, the reality is clear. Fever has achieved just 3 wins out of the last 9 games without Clark, and each victory is a monumental step for survival, to strive and stay afloat this season instead of establishing a cold dominance. But as the roster navigates through the season, their recent victory was not just a statement. It was a desperate attempt to move past the chaos and rise above the injuries and setbacks. While the story would have been written differently if Caitlin Clark was orchestrating the offense and rallying the defense under the Fever with her beast shots, like the 36-foot pointer against the New York Liberty earlier this season. While she has the ability to single-handedly lift the team out of the troubles, the guard is already busy making some big off-court moves.